In this video, we are going to talk about the various schema types that are available, and we will also cover which one you should choose for your business website for better SEO ranking. So if that sounds interesting, then let's dive in. Hi, my name is Ankit and welcome to Magazine 3 YouTube channel where we talk about everything related to WordPress. And if you want to learn more about that, then make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you can get notified whenever we upload our next video. Now there are hundreds of schema markup available, but you don't have to worry about all of them. So Google is only able to identify around 20 plus schema markups, and 15 of them are one of the most popular schema markups that are most widely used on various websites. And this is the list of all these 15 schema markups that are used most widely on various websites. So you don't have to worry about hundreds of schema markups. You can just concentrate on these 15s and you will be good to go for any type of business website. Now to add these different type of schema markup on your website, you can go with three formats. Number one is JSON LD, and number two is microdata, and number three is RDFA format. But in 2015, Google announced that if you are using schema.org markup data, then they will prefer JSON LD format. And that's why JSON LD is the most preferred way to add schema markup on any website. Now, no matter what website you are building, you can always use more than one schema markup data on your website, depending upon what content is on a particular page of your website. For example, if you are building a recipe blog, then most of your pages are going to be related to recipe. So you will be using recipe schema markup. But on the same blog post, you might want to add some schema markup for FAQs, or maybe a schema markup for a video. So there is no limitation what schema markup you need to use on your particular web page or on your website. It's just that you need to identify the content of your website and play smartly with schema markup data. For example, if you have an e-commerce website, then again, most of your pages are going to be product pages. So you will be using product schema markup, but maybe on the About Us page, you want to use company schema markup, or maybe you want to use the logo schema markup as well. And on the product page itself, you also might want to use FAQs or maybe video markup if you are using videos for products. So once again, you don't have to restrict yourself to one schema markup for entire site. It's just that you need to identify the content of your site and then add the schema markup as per the requirement. So if you want to identify what schema markup you need to add on your website, then you can follow a few steps, where step number one is to identify the pages where you want to add schema markup on your website. And that actually sounds obvious, that first you need to identify what kind of website you're building and then decide what is the best schema markup fit for that type of content. For example, if you are building a recipe blog, then obviously most of the time you will be using recipe schema markup, or maybe FAQ schema markup in some cases, and maybe video schema markup in some pages. And these are the only three schema markup you might need for a recipe blog. Now, if you identify your business website as an e-commerce website, then you need to use different schema markups. For example, you might be using product schema markup and FAQ schema markup on some pages, and also you might want to use company and logo schema markup to identify your e-commerce brand in Google search results. And then comes the step number two, to map your content to the proper schema markup data. So once you identify what is the website you are building, then you need to identify what are the schema markups that you will be using on your website. So once again, for building a recipe blog, you might be using recipe, FAQ, or maybe a author schema markup. And when it comes to case of e-commerce website, you might be using product, review, FAQs, and company, and these kind of schema markups for your website. And once you do that, we come down to step number 3, that is to connect your website with schema markup data. Now, once your website is built, all you have to do is just identify the pages where you want to add proper schema markup according to the content of that data. So once you have identified what schema markups you're going to use, then in step number 3, you need to add the schema markups on various pages of your website. So for example, if you are building an e-commerce website, then you might want to use some FAQs maybe on the home page of your website, and you definitely want to add product review FAQs on your all product pages, and on the about page of your e-commerce website you definitely want to add local business schema markup, or maybe also the logo schema markup as well. So this is how you can identify the schema type that you need to add on your WordPress website, and then you can choose from the most popular list of schema types. So first, from the 15 most popular schema markups that we discussed, identify which one is the best fit for your business website, and then just follow these few steps to identify which schema markup you are going to use on your website. You don't have to choose all the 15 or 20 schema markups on your website, and you don't have to restrict yourself to just use one schema markup on your entire site. So it's all about giving more information to search engine about your website content, and for that, if you have to add more than one schema structure type on a page, then make sure you go ahead and do that. So if you like this video, then make sure you hit the like button, and to watch more videos related to schema markup, then make sure you watch our complete playlist. The link is in the I button above and the video description below. And to watch more videos related to WordPress, then make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you can get notified whenever we upload our next video. So that's it for this one, and I'll see you in the next one.